By the end of this video, you will know what is your purpose fully. And as a result, you will never be lost again. When I was trying to find my purpose, I was trying to find that into things like what I will buy, what I will win, where I will be in my career. This is actually the wrong place. Even if you choose the right thing, it will actually hurt you at the end. If you think about this, I remember myself, for example, at some point I decided I want to go to university, and to go to university, specifically to the engineering school back in Greece. It was actually very hard. So I worked for 2 years and I actually got in the university. And that was amazing, and it was the right thing for me to have this goal. But it actually left me with a hole. After I was done being happy for 1 week, 1 month, in my case 3 months, I was left with a hole. And what I did was that I had to fill this hole. So I decided to do the next goal. Think this through. If your purpose is something that is reachable, something that you can actually achieve, as a result of you reaching this goal, it will actually hurt you at the end. Because when you reach this financial goal, for example, you will have nothing else to do. After the excitement being done, after 1 week, 1 hour, 1 month, or 1 year, depending on the size of the goal, you might even fall into depression. And after that, your life will kind of become meaningless. If you think about it, the only way to get through the rat race of goals is actually for your purpose to be attached to something unattainable, which, to be honest, kind of not makes sense when you think about that originally. If you think about it, the significance of life lies within the process. And I came to understand that, and you will too. It's not about what you achieve, even though this is what gives us the inspiration, motivation to move towards a direction. It's the movement of the direction. I was reading Odyssey back in the day when I was in Greece, and it was talking about the pleasure and the gift that is the journey. And back then, I wasn't mature enough to understand that. I was more confused, but now everything clicks. Because within the process, it lies the success and the failure, the progression and the regression, and most important, the emotional ups and downs. These are the moments we remember at the end of the day, going from the lowest of the lows to the highest of the highs. It's kind of like when you're trying to move towards a goal, you had these moments, these days that you feel on top of the world, you feel like a god. And there is moments that you feel horrible, you feel like nothing works and life gives you a gut punch. And within that, there is a spectrum, and that's what life is about. Moving within this spectrum and experiencing what life has to offer. Within that, talking about the spectrum, right? There is all these experiences of you growing, learning, most important, sometimes taking risk. And this risk working out that will get you to the highest of the highs, or actually not working out and that will get you the lowest. This is the process of finding yourself, being within the middle of the spectrum. So what you're working towards? You're working towards the full capability of your body, mind, and spirit. And it's obvious that you will never be there. It is basically impossible for you to achieve that. But within this sentence lies the core philosophy that allows you to have a purpose. Something that I always come back and I keep thinking about it is the 6 human needs by Tony Robbins. You can write this down. There is significance, you want to feel important. Love and connection, obvious. Certainty, you want to feel safe. Variety, you want to feel like you do different things. And now that's the important one that connects here. Growth and contribution. Within you trying to be in the spectrum and achieving the highest potential of your body, mind, and spirit, that's where you're giving the maximum of your personal growth, but then you're giving back, you're contributing, which is a natural state of the evolution of your spirit. Growth and contribution is the 2 highest needs that when we start, most people, we are driven by significance. We want to be important, and certainty, we want to be safe. But while we are moving towards the achievement of our highest goal, of our purpose in life, we are moving towards being directed by growth and contribution. It's actually, as we talked on a previous video, is simple things like going to the gym, reading a book, working on your current goal, spending time with your loved ones and having quality time, not being distracted we were talking about social media, alcohol, tobacco, vaping, Netflix, talking about me back in the day with friends. Isn't it interesting that these three things, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, this is the three things that we all have. So again, body, mind, and spirit. These are the three things that no matter where you are, where you started, we possess and we're able to grow and cultivate. It's funny, like what will it look like when this blossom into the full capability of what it can be? It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different for you. It's gonna be different for me. We are completely different people. We have different skills, different needs, and different sub-goals within the spectrum. And this is what makes you unique. This is what empowers your personal identity, who you are, what makes you different than me and your friends. But it takes some focus for you to prioritize internally these simple things we are talking about, going to the gym, reading, following your goals. If you start by having this external purpose of having $1 million, and that's the only thing you're striving for, this is what completely disorients you and makes your life to be painful. It doesn't work like you first get the job, then you figure out who you are. First you're becoming 10 millionaire, then you figure out how you are. This is backwards. Even though in your mind it feels like the logical thing is for you to have an external goal, because that's what we learn from our society, that's what just feels natural. It's actually the exact opposite. What you need to embrace and what you need to understand with this video is that the bad days is as important as the good days. I know that they feel horrible. I want you to make me a promise. I want you to try this. I want you to try from this day forward on improving your body, mind, and spirit. And everything else will be attracted to you. Through this process, you will start to understand who you are. You will start revealing what it means to be you. It doesn't have to be your goal to understand your identity. This will come as a byproduct. And the irony is that this opportunity that you're dreaming of, it will just suddenly come into your lap. It will just be yours. I hope you enjoyed. It's very cathartic for me to make this conversation, and I hope we'll see you soon.